This breaking news item, which is one of the top Venezuelan gang members, has been captured due to the Trump administration's new plans.
That's right. And this is what they are calling a ringleader of the Tren de Aragua gang. This is that Venezuelan gang you heard a lot about on the campaign trail. This is the same gang that was terrorizing communities in Colorado, taking over apartment complexes. So it's gotten a lot of attention as these members of these gangs have exploited the migrant flows at the southern border to infiltrate deeper within the United States. We know that they are in major cities across the United States and some not as major cities as you look at some of the patterns of how they take hold. But this individual was arrested in New York City. It's 26-year-old Pacheco, and he was arrested early Tuesday morning by ICE and the DEA in the Bronx. He is wanted in Colorado, in Aurora, Colorado, on felony warrants that stem from some of those images you saw where he and other gang members were trying to break into different apartments. There's some kidnapping charges, I believe, that are alleged as well. But it just goes to show that when the administration cares about actually living up to the promises of the campaign trail and securing the borders and the internal cities of the United States, it's not as hard as the Biden administration made it out to be because they had a different agenda. It's actually the ICE agents have been doing their job. They weren't allowed to fulfill that mission. Right. And now they are. And look how swiftly they are bringing this down.
And a lot of this came from a doorbell camera that captured them and 5 other men.
They caught this individual trying to carry out a weapons exchange, an illegal one. There's reports that he was trying to obtain hand grenades, which is not something I think you're wanting to do anything positive with.
I don't know if there's a legal version of that.
Sure, exactly. Especially if you're in New York City, they have very tight restrictions on what kind of arms you can carry. Yeah, I don't think it's an open grenade carry state. But all that to say, I think that you are now seeing the fruit of what was campaigned upon by this administration, getting people in place. We have a DHS secretary now confirmed. She can get her deputies confirmed as well. And you're seeing they're already hitting the ground running, allowing the agencies to do the work that they were clamoring for. And remember, it was the Border Patrol Agents Union supported President Trump. The individuals that work these jobs actually want to do the work of their job. And we see that they were doing as much as they were allowed because they know exactly where to go get many of these most heinous actors that are available in the country, that have been able to roam freely, move from Colorado to New York, where you're wanted on federal crimes in Colorado, able to get all the way to the Bronx. That just shows that the administration prior was not allowing these individuals to do their job and take these people into custody and ultimately get them out of our country. The Tren de Aragua gang, which is a Venezuelan gang that's been exploiting the porous southern border under the Biden administration for years to establish a foothold in America. This is a newer phenomenon. We've heard about MS-13, the Salvadorian gang that was came to prominence in the United States during the Obama administration. And then President Trump tried with so much that went on in 2016. There was effective measures put in place to stem the flow of illegal migration and to go after the bad actors. This is such a different presidency because you don't have from the gate the FBI investigating the president of the United States. We have to remember that. When President Trump took office in early 2017, the FBI under James Comey was sending agents to investigate him and members of his cabinet. So everything they were trying to get done was being hamstrung by the FBI, by the investigations, by the media calling the Russia hoax and spreading that like wildfire. That isn't happening now. They are fulfilling campaign promises at breakneck speed because it is so much more liberated from what was going on in 2016. They are more focused, they are more driven, and they are not going to mess around. They are going to get things done. And that's what you're seeing when someone who was wanted in Colorado made his way to the Bronx under the Biden administration, this is an individual that was pretty well known, not by name, but by imagery during the campaign because they were taking over apartment complexes in Aurora, Colorado.
Right, we heard about that a lot, and a lot of people were kind of discrediting that.
Right.
Saying, it was just one or two apartment complexes. Not that big of a deal.
I want to know your opinion of what the mainstream media's stance is going to be now that President Trump informed the nation during the debates about what's going on in Colorado.
The New York Times already showed their hand on this when, after the executive order on labeling the cartels as terrorist organizations, they wrote a headline, "How Labeling Cartels Terrorists Could Hurt the U.S. Economy." I assume what's probably coming here is that ICE rounds up migrant who was just seeking affordable housing by taking over an apartment complex in Aurora, Colorado. Once again, President Trump is ending catch and release. Asylum is been abused under the Biden administration. There is a legal process that we believe should happen. There are legitimate asylum cases where people are fleeing political persecution, religious persecution. But the way it's been expanded and used as a cover for allowing illegal immigration under the Biden administration is not okay. That is not the use or the tool of asylum seekers. And therefore, it is actually hurting those that deserve true asylum in the United States and going through that process. But also, Carolyn Levitt, she brought up yesterday at the briefing something very similar.
The 3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office. Can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
You may have done one of the worst first. They all have a criminal record.
And welcome to the briefing.
If they broke our nation's laws, yes, they are criminal.
We've been calling for immigration reform for years and years and years because, look, we are a country of immigrants. I'm a family of immigrants. We believe in the correct and legal way, and we believe in a different way because we think it is a mess, and it has always been a mess. The problem you had is no one took action, and then you had a Biden administration that let things get to the point where we have to have this point, where they have to be going and finding the criminals and deporting and doing the things that, yes, sometimes do not feel like the Christian compassionate thing to do. But if you break the law in this country, it's gotten out of hand, unfortunately. Calling for years and years of immigration reform. Republicans have done it, and no one's listened from the left, it seems like, at all. And now it's out of control, and you have to have these very sometimes sad moments where you have to take care of this, because then you find that there are criminals who are doing some very bad things within our own country, and we're pretty quickly and easily able to locate. I think that's part of the crazy moment of this, is how quickly all of this could be taken care of if you let the people who have these jobs do their jobs.